As you can see, the roof is a little bit rough. It's dent free, which is good, but it's got this surface rust on there. In terms of body damage, I'll show you what I think the only bits I can see at the moment on the car. So rear quarter, back here, there's two little high spots here and here. You sort of feel through here, it feels a bit bumpy through the back here. So you can sort of see them in the light. That one there, that one there. So if you really want to see any dents, you sort of just got to get in that light and you can see like that. So they're going to need beaten up. We'll see what else. Doesn't look to be a lot of damage. Maybe a slight little bump here. Slight little something just about there. Maybe, but it could be pretty good. Down low I think's pretty good too. The VLs tend to, the bottoms of the doors have a few little ripples sometimes. Just down the bottom, I think that's when they make them. I'll show you one. There's one at the front I noticed. Front door feels good, except like most VLs, it's stuffed around the lock. So that'll need to be repaired. Other than that, the door looks pretty good. I thought there might have been another little something through there. See if we can see this little ripple on the front of the bottom door. Look about there. Ready? Watch. This slight little dip. I did notice though, this car has some sill damage. See how it's kind of bubbling out a little bit here? You can see someone's jacked it up at some point and done some damage. So could have run over a rock, could have been paddock bashing this thing, who knows. But we're going to get all that beaten up nice and fixed up, nice and neat, because obviously it's getting sandblasted. All of this will be all fresh back to all paint gone, all underneath too. Now the roof is a bit toast. If I go in close, but so you can just see it started to pit. I'm going to paint strip it and then I'm going to buzz it. There's actually not a lot to paint strip, to tell you the truth. So I'm probably just going to try and buzz it back, give it like a buzz with a soft interface pad thing, try and wear a lot of that rust down, and then it'll get treated or whatever. And then, you know, because you can't really sandblast in the middles of the panels because it can sort of flex it, I'm you know, sort of told. But we'll talk more about the sandblasting when we actually get to the sandblasters, because I'm going to speak with Steve there all about, you know, pros and cons and how it gets done and what happens with that. But as you can see, the roof is a little bit rough. It's dent free, which is good, but it's got this surface rust on there. So all this sort of pitting and stuff like that. So get a bit of focus there. You can see it's just kind of yucky stuff. You can feel it a little bit through the metal, but hopefully it's not deep or anything. So hopefully it'll sand out, hopefully. When I bought the car, it did have a bonnet, but it was like bashed up and rusted and just shit. It's gone. I threw it to the tip, literally. I think there's like a little dent on the front down here. Slight little ripple you can see there. No dents there, no sort of damage there other than what I showed you on the front sill. Doors feel pretty good all the way through. Here there's a bit of a ripple, bit of a strange ripple sort of here. I can feel it in the door. The back door's pretty good. There's a slight little, oh no, this door's good actually. Moving on to this side, feels pretty good through here. Feels pretty good. Up here's a slight little dent there, I can feel it on the top of the guard. No damage down here, and these sills are much better condition than the ones on the other side. Doors feel pretty good on this side. So all the doors don't feel rough. Maybe a slight little bump there maybe. And around here, there's a bit of a ripple here. I don't know what it is, but it's something. And there's a couple of bumps on this in the quarter here. There's a bump there. There's a bit of a ripple there. So these quarters have had a little bit of a hard time. I'm sure the guys, Steve and those guys, will get it all. Smick. Beaver panel checks out good. Nothing wrong with that. All good in there. So I want to show you something, what I've done to try and make this build much simpler when it comes time to putting stuff back together. I've bought some of these 30 resealable lunch bags. So what I can do is I can put screws in them and I can write down with these textures that I bought, permanent markers, and write down exactly what they're from. But mostly these buckets, these bags and these here will list everything out of the car, because how many times do you pull apart a car and you end up with a bucket full of bolts and they never all go back in? You have no idea where the things are from. Yeah, so this will prevent that, hopefully. One thing I can't wait to is this bloody carport is all new, because this carport is so old at this house. We've renewed all the house, like I said, and this carport's the last little stretch of fixing up the house, so getting it all smick. It'll all be sealed in like a garage, and So that'll be mad. So the car's due at the sandblasters in 1 week today. So that's a little bit of time pressure to get this interior out, engine out, diff out, and get the car on a set of Lowe Fabrications dollies. So we can, you know, manage and push the car around while it's getting all painted up and smick. All right, I'm going to jump in the deep end now, start pulling out some stuff of the motor and start packeting it and putting it away in plastic bags and putting it in the tub. So all the little accessories, and I think then we do that. I think then we pull the motor out. So that way all the rest of the engine bay is nice and clear to get the engine and gearbox out in one go. After that's done, we'll drop the K-frame and all the suspension and stuff like that. But we won't do that until we have the K-frame, until we have the dollies, which we're picking up later this week from Chubby. So, yeah. Radiator. There's no water in there. Bit rusty and yuck. That'll be right. I've broken something already. First thing we take off. I've broken the bonnet latch thing. Mad. That will not be the first thing I break with these fingers. Not even bloody 2 clips in. Well, we managed to save 2 clips. The other 2 clips are gone to clip hell. There's another little snail shell. Hey, a little snail. There to be bloody snail. Hey, this is non-turbo, mate. This is where the shit starts getting complicated. Sick. More wiring harness undone. Mad. So just because I'm excited about pulling the first bits apart, these radiators come out really easy. They're literally 2 clips. They literally just pull out the sides here. This one is going to be in, no, it's come out easy. So these little clips in there, they pull out. They will go, this is my trick, ready? See this? Yeah, the old glad bags. Hey? These in there. And then I'm going to write on there. Obviously I'll put the hose and stuff in here that's off the bottle in this bag as well. Seal it all up and I'll write radiator. Radiator hose. There you go. Hose off. Get off you dog. This hose has probably been on here since 1984. I love working on cars. Love it. I've got to get some more tools. I'm going to make a list after the tools I've got to get, because the shit I got here ain't going to cut it. I need, like now I could deal with some clamp things. I'm cutting it off. I'm hanging around 10 years for a rusted on bloody hose that I'm going to replace. Ah, there we go. Hopefully, it should, in theory, lift out. I wonder if it's rusted on. You should see inside the pipe. There we go. Get these things off. Get me a little glad bag, Sav, can you? I'm going to put this in the bag too. See this little motor? I'll probably get a new one of these. They're pretty cheap. Don't really want to go shaved engine bay and welding holes, so I want to keep it pretty factory looking. So, other than a black motor. This wiring harness is connected in by a lot of these little hook cable things. So there's another one here. And there's a lot of these little plastic clips where it sort of sits in. I don't know if we're going to be able to save them because they never really... Oh! So part that goes through the car. That goes into the car as well, up into here. What else can we take off today? So let's skip to this part. Electric box. It's connected in by one little screw there. So the 10mm looks like 10 or 12, and that whole box should lift out. It's night time. Thought I'd better come out here and do some work because I didn't get a chance to do anything this afternoon on the car. I'm gonna get under the car because I want to pull the motor out. So where I left off was the electrical box. Went to take that out. Didn't take that out. Had to go inside and do some stuff. You know, you gotta do the family thing and the, you know, the work stuff. So anyway, we left off there, but I'm gonna skip that, come back to that maybe a bit later. I'm gonna go under the car and use this chain thing, this mad looking crazy thing to cut the exhaust. So you wrap it around. I'll show you when I get under the car, and then to cut off the back of the headers. So then we can lift the motor out really easy because it's all welded under there. Oh, I just damaged the car. Now, all right, mad. I've got to get some torches. Seriously, can't see shit. This is a progression, people. This is how it all starts. off in the garage all bodgy by yourself. Hang on, look at this. What's this? Some little ant nest or something. What the heck is that thing growing under my guard? So everything I just said about cutting the exhaust so we can then get the motor out easy was full of crap. So as I'm saying, this is a learning experience for me too. Like, I do have some mechanical skills that are limited to, you know, tinkering around in the garage. But there's the cat. Get out of here, you. Just stuff I've picked up over the years from stuffing around with cars. Nothing crazy. I know how to turn a spanner and a few things, but no sort of what's what. But a lot of this is about learning and whatever else. So even if I use this thing to cut the exhaust off, it's not going to go, because I can see that as the motor comes up, it's going to hit the steering rack and everything like that. So we'll cut it anyway, and then we'll have to undo the headers from the heads and then pull up the motor that way. Mad. All right, going to get this box out here, this thing, because it's one of the next things to go. Oh, got it. So it just slips on there. Mad. It just sort of slides off that little clip there, give it a bit of a nudge. Mad.
It's just a bent over end bit, and that's what's holding it on.
Oil pressure sender thing.
Yep. You get me?
Yeah, it'll come out. You reckon we need to bend the back?
Yeah, that knife would have been perfect.
Oh, it's pretty boring. Going to do lots of wiring undoings here, and then I'm going to try and undo as many of the header bolts as I can in preparation for getting all this crap out. All right, coming up in the next episode, we strip the engine bay down more, the headers come out, and we get underneath the car to see what's going on. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, because that's just what you do on YouTube. Mad.